Hello, and welcome back to Dear Teacher Carina podcast episode 3. Today's topic is being the main teacher of the class. What do you mean by main teacher? For those who are not in the early childhood sector, let me briefly explain. In many preschools, each class usually have a main teacher and a Chinese teacher. For younger age group like PG and 1, we usually have an assistant teacher
also tagging along.
That makes it 3 for the younger age group and 2 for the older age group. The main teacher is basically the person responsible for almost everything related to the class. That includes lesson planning, classroom management,
communicating with parents,
assessments and portfolios of the children, and sometimes even admin work. In simple terms, the main teacher is the person who carries the main responsibility for the class. The reality of being the main teacher. For me, when I first became the main teacher, I was actually still doing my ACEY course. I was feeling excited, yet having that 未知数 feeling at that point of time. Excited because it felt like a form of recognition. It meant that the center trusted you to lead the class. But at the same time, I don't know what to do, how to do, what will the parents think of me, and so on. Because suddenly, I realized many things falls on me. If parents have questions, they usually look for the main teacher. If there are behavioral issues in the class, the main teachers handle it. If the lesson plans need to be submitted, the main teacher prepares them. So sometimes it can feel like you are juggling a lot of roles at once. But lucky for me, I had very good mentor, and the Chinese teacher that was with me guided me along very well. I kind of rely on her a lot. One thing I realized when I was a main teacher is that a lot of the work is actually invisible. Parents might see the classroom activities, they see the photos, the craft, the work of their children, but what they might not see is the amount of planning behind it. For example, planning the weekly lessons, preparing materials, thinking about how to support children with different learning needs, writing observations and assessments. And sometimes this work happens after school hours. Another part that people may not realize is the emotional responsibility of being the main teacher. Because when you are with the same group of children every day, you naturally become very attached to them. You see their growth, their struggles, their personalities developing. And sometimes you also carry the challenges with you. Maybe a child is having difficulty adjusting to the new environment. Maybe there are behavior issues you might not know. Or maybe there are concerns raised by parents. All these things can sometimes sit in your mind even after work. But despite all of this, being a main teacher can also be very meaningful because you are really part of a child's early development. Sometimes you see a child who was very shy at the start of the year slowly becoming more confident, or a child who struggles with something but eventually improves and gets better at it. And those moments reminds you why many teachers choose this profession in the first place. Overall, being a main teacher in the early childhood sector is something that carries a lot of responsibility but also a lot of impact. And if you are currently a teacher listening to this, I just want to say that your work is
meaningful,
even if there are days that feels very exhausting. Thank you so much for tuning into Dear Teacher Carina podcast episode 3. If you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to me. And I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye bye!